What you going for?
I got a goal. So let me know, Kevin.
Yeah.
All right. And welcome to Feoghanagh for the County Junior B semi-final between Newcastle, West and Bruree. Referee in the centre of the field, Damon Phelan, showing the flag to the linesman for offside, and any moment now the big game will be on. Both teams playing as selected. Newcastle West team, in goals Mike Salmon. Full back line Kenneth Martell, Diarmuid Cahill and Paul Devine. Half back line wearing number 5 Neil McGowan, right in front of us with a black helmet, practicing a free. He was so accurate in their game in the Gaelic grounds last Sunday, sending that one, dropping it just wide of the post. Centre back Jody and left half back James Hennessy. Centre field Tony Ahern and Carol Linham. Half hour line Tommy Quinn, Dan O'Connor and Derek Powell. And the captains there in the centre, we see the rival captains, Francis Finn and James Hennessy. And there Michael Bertree from the Weekly Observer and Vale Star taking the important picture. And the full forward line, Liam Wally-Crimmon, Morris Hurley and Brian Quirk. The Bruree team in goals, Francis Finn, the man with the blue jumper and the cap, has great memories of Feoghanagh the last time they were successful against Feoghanagh in the County Junior B League final here, and what an exciting game that was. Patrick Hogan, William Horgan and Christy Sexton formed the full back line. Half back line Mike Carey, Mike Mullane and John Paul Murphy. Centre field Pat Potter and Danny Deedy. Half forward line Andrew Sexton, Charles O'Shea and the young athletic great turn of foot here in front of us, James Charles O'Brien, coming up against the experienced Neil McGowan today. They're shaking hands, and what a battle that should be. Full forward line David O'Keefe, Mike Potter and number 15 Billy Carey. Yes, a great game in prospect. Referee in the centre of the field, Eamon Phelan, and the rival centre field players shaking hands. The strong Pat Potter there, and then number 9 coming up across there, the experienced Denny Deedy trying the sliotar, and they'll be pitted against the youthful Tony Hearn and Carolyn Hen. Big crowd here today, the stand almost full here in Long Park, Kevin Long Park, Feoghanagh.
Where is the crowd?
Referee trying the ball. Boss Dale made this into the field. Denny Didi pulling it. Quint this into the back. Jody blinking there against Charles O'Shea. Charles O'Shea out of this into the field. And Tony going for this Tony hadn't shot it into the Hurley drive it down to the corner trying to find out. Liam Clean battling for it there.
Time's next one.
Brian Quirk battling for it. And right out there is Christy Sexton. Brian Quirk coming through. There's the first Newcastle West goal calling for it there. And the centre is Willie Hurley. Will Brian Quirk take a point to the goal? Oh, great save. And Willie bats it to the net. And the Newcastle West goal is coming up. The cross by Brian Quirk and the goal by Willie Hurley. And the captain, Francis Finn, driving this one right through the centre, going for down for offside. James Hennessy watching the breaking ball, but he comes into the centre then to David driving into the centre, head back to the Martin. Billy Carey there, and coming back is Neil McGold got shot down, Martin going for it. Martin trying to get out, Jody back this way. The very close thing, and Mike Potter, the strong Mike Potter playing for foul position. Mike Billy past there, being against Ken Martin, coming out to the beautiful James Charles, so very great man to carry the ball this time. He shot it back down and pulled out over the sideline line ball for Bruree. Denny Didi to take it. Oh, they can go down for it. Denny Didi, not so good then. Tony hadn't back in James Charles O'Brien to get hit then. This Tony hadn't pulled it well out on the sideline, second line ball for Bruree. Pat Potter to pot this one. Pat should drive this in around the edge of the square. Mike Salmon there on the edge of the square. Mike Potter there on the edge of the square as well. Bruree looking for the elusive opening score. Pat Potter cut it down the side. Back to step with Neil McGowan. Going into the corner and trying to get it in. He's asking to follow Charles O'Shea. Charles O'Shea flick it high and flick it over the in-line. Gone very near the in-line and over the in-line, gone wide. Mike Salmon looking up towards Derek Powell, drive it low ball through the centre, trying to find James Hennessy. James Hennessy going for it, and then coming in batting for Tommy Quinn. Tommy for offside the field. Coming in Mike Carey into the centre then. Good attack then when Andrew Sexton making angle for himself. Dropping the edge of the square. Mike Salmon coming out for it. Mike Salmon gathered in, and Salmon is relieving clearance into the centre again. But coming for offside for Tommy Quinn. Tommy Quinn trying to give him play, keep it in play. Harrison behind him, taking it down the far off wing. Going to there, Patrick Hogan, the cornerback. Patrick Hogan trying to get up and let it there for his centre back. Mike Milan, between the two of them, Mike Milan gets it. Mike Milan shot is blocked down by Liam Quinn. Going back to Patrick Hogan. Hogan back down the second line, and now have Dan O'Connell, man of the match in their game against Ballybricken in the quarter-final, flicking that one over the in-line and a line ball for Bruree. Mike Milan to take it. Beautiful day here in Feoghanagh. We're entering the final week of autumn of 1999, the final week of autumn in the millennium. But that's not worrying Mike Milan. Mike Milan down to Carlin, trying to get David O'Keefe. David O'Keefe going for it. David O'Keefe, they're making an angle for himself, trying to shake off Paul Devine. David O'Keefe across, throwing ball to the edge of the square, looking for Des Kennedy. Martel holding, and Martel driving, and then he's coming there. He's now put the Harrison behind James Charles O'Brien then, and then Niall McGowan back to it, and very near James Charles trying to get it up. Then kicked there by Niall McGowan out, trying to find James Hennessy. It's tough hurling there in the centre, back trial there, and coming together is Derek Power getting in the ground, then still Quinn in the ground hurling by Derek Power, after to Tommy Quinn in, and Mike Milan difficulty in getting it up across the far offside, trying to find Mike Carey then battling for it. Tony hadn't battling for the far offside the field, and then battling, the battle is on, whipping there, and then trying to get it up, Pat Potter, and then he flicked out there by John Paul Murphy near the sideline, and then coming to Caroline flicking into the centre. Dan O'Connor, we see Dan O'Connor point, going over the line and gone wide. Francis Finn looking up towards John Charles or James Charles O'Brien. Francis driving this side of the field. James Charles and Niall McGowan going up for it. Ball breaking down between them. Coming to Niall McGowan, then coming to Jody trying to get up and shot into the difference Hurley into the centre then. But good work there by Mike Mullane to the centre again. But into Tony Hamilton surrounded by 3 Trump players. Then dispossessed momentarily, trying to get again. Slipping then comes to James Charles. James Charles hooked by Tony Hamilton. The recovery work by Tony Hamilton to get the side seat and get it. Danny Didi shot it into the centre then, trying to find Charles O'Shea battling for it. And then Andrew Sexton throwing ball to Mike Potter. Are we going to see a Potter behind Potter Harrison behind by Diarmaid Cahill, a great bet between them. And then comes Paul Devine to the side of the field. Jolie sprinting. Jolie then using his speed and up along the sideline, quickly into the side then. But great Mike Mullane in the game and Mike Mullane driving down, probing, attacking ball. This is the next exciting contest. In towards Mike Potter back to the is that a goal coming up? Billy Carey field Mike Salmon. The Salmon now that comes out, and then James Hennessy going for it. Had it there by David O'Keefe. David is fouled. It's a Bruree free. Danny Didi to take it. Mission Sunday in the church's calendar, but Denny's mission is to drive this over the bar. Will he be successful? The white stands and the cheer will tell the story. It looks good from this angle. It is good, and he's going for the flag. It's over the bar. John Paul Murphy and Derek Power have a great battle. Mike Salmon wearing the visor cap he got in Los Angeles in 1986, and Mike Salmon right into the centre of the field, trying to find his set up another attack and back in for it there. His Pat Potter, Tommy Quinn, great ball down to the corner, trying to get his corner in motion and back in for there. Is Liam Clement then into Willie Hurley checking off the tackle, clever ball to the edge of the square. Is that another goal coming up for Newcastle? Right, quick going for it there, battling for it there. Is Christopher Sexton, trying to get up then and get it up, pick it up then, and coming out to Dan O'Connor shot in the link to Hurley, evading the tackle, pulling it across then again, and trying to find the half hour. This Derek Power into another thing coming out to Danny Didi, and there's the halfback John Paul Murphy. John Paul the second came down in 79, but it's Charles O'Shea, Bruree improving. Charles O'Shea down to the centre then, Andrew Sexton then pulling it again, and the whip there, and it's the free for Newcastle West. James Hennessy there coming to the rescue of Newcastle West, and Jody to take it.
Hold the bar, Joe.
Or will it be Neil McGowan? Neil McGowan has a sale next week. The sneakers are reduced from £55 to 38, but that's not worrying Neil at the moment, as he'll try to drive this one over the bar. Neil in his own 65, dropping the edge of the square, going for his Dan O'Connor and Mike Mullane, battle between them, the edge of the square ball dangerously, and then comes the custodian Francis Finn. Francis coming out in and gone off for the 65. Little no breeze here in Feoghanagh. Eamon Phelan, the St. Patrick's official, the man that refereed the quarter-final against Ballybricken, puts his hand out and tells Neil McGowan where to take the 65. 5.5 centimetres, or is he going to come back to centimetres? 3.5 centimetres inside the 65. Sun his eyes, deep in concentration, 22.65s against Ballybricken. Is this the first 65 going over the bar in the county semi-final? Going good, looking good from the side. That's over the bar. A goal and a point to 1 point. Francis Finn looking to the far off side of the field, driving to the far off side of the field, trying to find Andrew Sexton backsliding and coming down to the midfield then to Pat Potter, then coming down to James Hennessy difficult in getting it up then trying to send the dummy, and then shot half back down, clash ball, line ball for Bruree. Is it a clash ball? Tom Doody there on the far off side of the field. Pat Potter claiming the line ball. Pat will try to cut this one right into the centre. Straight cut by Pat Cotter, trying to find Mike Potter. Mike Potter got it in, has from behind by Diarra Carroll. Race between him. Carroll goes to the ground, but comes up with the ball. The blue helmet, Harris staffed the ball, and then Dave O'Keefe back to there, the edge of the square. Coming out in his James Hennessy, trying to get it in, flick it out very, very near the sideline. Players trying to keep it in play. Good work there by Dave O'Keefe, but it's gone out and it's gone over the line and gone wide. Paul Devine retrieving the ball. Mike Salmon to take it. Mike Salmon for offside the field, trying to find Tony Hearn, battling for it, and Tommy Quinn coming down into the half hour. The half hour is Andrew Sexton. Andrew Sexton had us there by James Hennessy. Hennessy battling, coming down to Tommy Quinn. Tommy Quinn dispossessed momentarily, and then battling very near the sideline, coming to Dan O'Connor. Dan O'Connor then hooked from behind, and the ball out gone off Dan's stick, and it's a Bruree ball. Pat Potter cutting this one very, very well, trying to find David O'Keefe. David O'Keefe battling with Paul Devine. Paul Devine going for David O'Keefe, trying to get up. David O'Keefe getting up, making an angle for himself. There with the blue helmet, will he try a point from this angle? Dangerous ball to the edge of the square, going for then is Billy Carey. Well, out comes Kenneth Martell field, and then coming down to Pat Potter. Pat will try a point from this angle. Going, dropping towards Mike Salmon. Salmon bats it with a Hurley, and over for a 65 for Bruree. Chance for Denny Deedis to drive this one over the bar. Got 365s in the league final here against Feoghanagh. That was way back in May, but championship was a different ball game. The pressure on him, and he could easily drop into the net because the sun is all the players' eyes. They're holding up. Difficulty to see the sun coming. It rose the Mount Collins at 25%. Is here in Feoghanagh now. Danny mishitting the ball. Drop it high and drop it well and drop it. Oh, batted out by Mike Salmon. Hit it by Nine to go. And up to Jody. And then Jody. This is great work by Newcastle. Down to Mike Milan. Down to Mike Milan. Hold it. Mike Milan. Thorough strengthen this in the back position. Drop it again. Mike Potter coming out for it. Along with Diarra Carroll. Bat it down there. And then batting for it. Then is Neil McGowan. Mike Potter dangerous ball. Is it go? Webb! Mike Salmon watched it. And the experienced Salmon. Billy Carey there. Billy knows he could have done better, but the sun in his eyes and try to whip that one to the net. Mike Salmon driving this one, probing ball in between Dan O'Connor and Mike Milan, battling between him, flick down there off the stick of Derek Power to Tony Hearn. Tony Hearn high ball, trying to flick it in towards Willie Hurley battling for it there, along with William Horgan, the two Willies together, and then coming down to Mike Milan, a clever ball then to John Paul Murphy. John Paul swinging the dummy, had it by four Newcastle West players. This is a good move by Bruree, will he wind up the score out of Charles O'Shea making an angle for himself, hooked then coming down to Jody really well, Jody making an angle for himself, then across to the centre field and to Tony Hearn, good ball forward again, trying to find Willie Hurley. We say Willie's then William Horgan a tower strength in the full back line, strong, good running by William Horgan, making an angle for himself, clever ball forward then to Danny Deedy had us from behind then, and Danny Deedy evading the tackle and looking up since another extra bit of time, confidence coming to centre forward to Charles O'Shea drive it forward, Jody really well again, Lee catching, Lee holding, Lee driving, and then into the centre towards Willie Hurley. This is better work for Newcastle West. Willie goes forward, Willie forward for a, will Willie finish it off with a flourish with a goal, hit Figgin edge of the square, battling, gone, go, Francis Finn coming there, and the man with the helmet looking behind him, looking in front of him, coming at the ball, and still going, Harris again, and dispossessed momentarily, but he's fouled, legal dispossession. Good work by custodian Francis Finn, but it appears that William Horgan is down injured, looking for attention. Francis Finn for offside the field. Battling for there on the far offside is James Hennessy. James Hennessy have a great battle. Andrew Sexton. Andrew trying to head up then. Flick it, shot half block down. And then Hennessy tenacious there going down to the corner then to David O'Keefe. David O'Keefe with the blue helmet. Dangerous probing ball to trying to find Billy Carey. Will Billy make sure this time? Billy get it then. Billy by Niall McGowan. Good work by Niall McGowan. Niall McGowan then was shot this in the field to Tony Hill. Tony Hill difficulty to get it up. Harrison behind by Denny Didi. Still difficulty to get it up. Then Sydney the other get it up then. Drive it up the side of the field very, very near the sideline. Trying to keep them play. Then they still in play. And then flick them there again. And go. Derek Power there for Hurling. Derek Power.
Come on, Neil, you put it over.
Ian McGowan from the 65. Just getting the extra metre out of it. Will he drive it over the bar? You could hear the tension as he's driving it. Looks good from this angle, dropping, high and dropping, well and dropping. Oh, Francis Finn hold it. Francis Finn, great work there by Francis Finn. Good work then up trying to find a half back to John Paul Murphy. John Paul Murphy, then Christy Sexton, then battling for Dan O'Connor. Gone off stick line ball for Bruree. Christopher Sexton caught it very near the sideline trying to find John Paul Murphy. John Paul Murphy get it. John Paul Murphy had it by Derek Powell. John Paul into the centre then trying to get Charlie O'Shea. Great run by Charlie O'Shea. Harrison behind then still Charlie O'Shea going through. This is Cass Hurling. Oh, beautiful stick up. Will he finished after a pint. Drive it good, drive it high, but drive it over the line and drive it wide. No score with the last 6 minutes as Mike Salmon looking over towards Tommy Quinn, the far offside the field. All players tightly mapped, tightly policed. Ball driven out by Mike Salmon, far offside the field. Good work there, driven forward again, down to the corner there, but the centre back there, Mike Mullane get hit, Mike Mullane whip it down to the centre, and then get it up there is Andrew Sexton, Bruree look as if they're going to get a goal shortly. Andrew Sexton down to Billy Carey, and Martel, clever work by Martel, great understanding there in the right flank of defence by Martel and McGowan, Neil McGowan to the centre, then to Denny Didi, went right through the centre, would he invite the foul? Denny Didi still with the ball, 10, 20, 30 minutes with the ball, over work to Billy Carey, make sure this time, going through the goal, coming up, there go, high, and gone over the bar by Denny Didi, great save by Mike Salmon. Bruree's first pint to the half from play. Denny Didi already scored from a free. Mike Salmon, good puck up by Mike Salmon. Coming down to John Paul Murphy, battling for the Mike Mullane very near the sideline and over the sideline and ball for Newcastle West. Mike Salmon calling for next effort from his players. Crunching over the ball, Kenneth Martel. Great ball by Kenneth Martel down to find Tommy Quinn, switching to the full forward position or corner forward position. Tommy trying to get it in. Harrison behind, still trying. Harris off the ball then and whipped on there by Pat Potter. The referee will possibly throw in the ball. The question is, Jim Long says, how many minutes gone in the first half as Tommy Quinn gets the ball? Tommy Quinn going on the ground and making angle for himself. Is there a goal coming up for Newcastle? Will he hurl it in the edge of the square? And back Francis Finn, great work by Francis Finn for offside the field. Coming out then, chase it then is Willie Hurley, Harris behind. And will he take a point for this angle, make his angle past the edge of the square? Tommy going for the bat, but great work there by William Horgan. Horgan coming out at total strength in the full back position. And then Horgan out again into the centre. And good work there by Pat Potter. Pat Potter shot his block down. And then coming on again to the centre, dangerous Bobbage, Spatley there, Willie, the salvation of the defence, but he's beaten this time, and Wally coming back in for it, and Hart holding it. Free for Bruree. Is there a little name going in the book? We see the first yellow card of the game. Two points between the teams. Francis Finn to take it. Francis Finn drive it right through the centre, trying to find Charlie O'Shea. Charlie pulling it, but Jolie get it. Jolie really did well. The experienced Jolie trying to find Tommy Quinn. Tommy Quinn battling for the hit in the corner. Harrison behind by Christopher Sexton. And he go into the centre, and Willie drive it to Willie Horgan. Good ball into the centre again. To go after there and trying to get there. There's Billy Carey. Billy Carey with the ball. Or Dave O'Keefe. Dave O'Keefe with a dangerous ball. That into the square. And Mike Potter, we got to see a goal here from Billy Carey. Billy Carey! O'Keefe the Carey, Potter the Carey. Billy Carey might have been lucky in the early stages, but he made no mistake. He switched from the corner, one corner to the other corner, and the switch paying rich dividends. Coming out into the centre, Mike Milan. Bruree improving, Newcastle West trying to come back into getting equal terms. Battling for it, there's Mike Carey. Mike Carey oriented. Going for it, there's Mike Milan. Battling rail there and for offside the field. Get here then is John Paul. John Paul coming through. John Paul gone 10, 20, 30 metres with the ball. Harrison behind, still going through. He's told to kick it. Will he kick it or pass it? Passing it to Charlie O'Shea. Charlie has by Jolie. Charlie, dangerous ball. Is there another goal coming up? Dead to the square. Mike Salmon off his line. Mike Salmon holding it and then pulling it. And must get in. And then all kinds of trouble at the moment. Going for it then is James Charles O'Brien cross. And good work there by Paul Devine. But the edge of the square. Newcastle West defence in 6 or 7. Martell comes to the rescue. And then Niall McGowan. Harris by James Charles O'Brien. Then Niall McGowan trying to shake off James Charles O'Brien. Then hoop by James Charles O'Brien. James Charles will win the fade. James Charles went 10, 20 minutes with the ball. Still going through. James Charles will he kick to the left over the line and wide. He goes down in disgust. He knows he could have done better. Just unlucky at the last moment. The ball slid it off his shoe and it's gone out over the line and wide. Let off Newcastle West. As Bruree improving, is there a change? Noel Bruston coming on there. Is James Charles looking for a different Hurley? Noel will encourage him. Pair down the centre of the field. Looks like Mike Carey. Driven out there by Mike Salmon to the offside the field, going for there is Pat Potter in the centre, battling down then, and then Mike Milan coming to drive it forward again, into the corner course, Billy Carey battling for it, improved now, got to switch positions, right on the foot by Billy Carey, being tackled by Damon Cal, Billy Carey making an angle for himself, will throw it across this one to Mike Potter. Mike will try to get that elusive point, making an angle, drive it into the square, going for this Dave O'Keefe, taking down Mike Salmon oriented, Mike Salmon getting very near the sideline, drive it up, trying to find but in the middle of the field, Bruree seemed to dexter up there and handed them on, Pat Potter getting it, will try to get a point from this angle, will he be successful? Another goal, dropping James Charles O'Brien. Goal! A goal by James Charles O'Brien. And as I said, Bruree improving on into double scores. Newcastle West badly needed a score. Brian Kirk battling for it. Coming down then, flicked across by Derek Paul. Derek Paul trying to find Willie Hurley. Willie Hurley going for it. Willie Hurley get it. Willie Hurley will float into the edge of the square, dropping to Tommy Quinn. Is he going to get that impact? Tommy going up to battling for there with Christopher Sexton. Christopher Sexton get it. And then in the tackle. And then still Christopher Sexton flick it out and cleverly to John Paul Murphy. John Paul Murphy driving and trying to find Charlie O'Shea and Jolie. Jolie battling for it. Charlie O'Shea get it. And then flicked on Niall McGowan. Get it. Good work there in the corner by David going through. David O'Keefe on 10, 20 metres, and then get it is Kenneth Martell trying to find Tony hadn't gone 10, 20 metres with the ball dropping the ball, difficulty in getting it up, making an angle for himself. Will he try to take it across hook then, and good work by John Paul Murphy. players lots of difficulty trying to get the ball up to Dan Feenan. Coming to Dan O'Connor. Quite game by Dan O'Connor so far. Dan O'Connor will he try to find Tommy Quinn, flick it in the edge of the square, going for it there, trying to Liam Crimmin. Liam Crimmin, will he be satisfied with the point, or will he go forward for the goal? Battling for it there along with Patrick Hogan, and then Liam Crimmin the second time, difficulty getting away from Patrick Hogan, still battling for dear life, and then Liam Crimmin trying to figure it out and get it out there to Mike Carey. Mike Carey gone 10, 20, 30 metres with the ball, still Mike Carey dropping the ball, kicking the ball, will try to pull it again, but then the experienced Jody, good work by Jody, down to towards Brian Quirk will try to take it far to the field into centre, but get it up there, Patrick Hogan, holding on to for dear life, and they have to challenge, and now a fair challenge to the referee. We out towards Pat Potter, the key point creasy in the game. Pat Potter driving down to the fell offside the field, trying to get full forward Mike Potter back in there with Dave McCall. Mike getting off, trying to find Dave O'Keefe and Billy Carey back for it, and then get it is Dave McCall with the blue helmet. Dave McCall turning defence into attack and coming out there, drop it in and getting there. Oh, hefty challenge into Newcastle West 3. Liam Crimmin to take the free to put a solitary goal between the teams. Liam bending, lifting, striking, trying for a low and trying to engineer, go before Tommy Quinn, pull it to Willie Hurley back in the battle. Dan O'Connor there and William Horgan, great battle around the edge of the square, and it's a referee will possibly throw in the ball. Or is there a penalty? Or an ordinary 20-metre free? A 20-metre free, referee right in the spot. Liam Crimmin asking the referee, will he be satisfied with a point or will he go for a goal? And the dog spot has landed to Feoghanagh. Is he here for the goal or is he here for the point? Liam will go for the goal. Low hard shot of Francis Finn. Francis holding. Francis coming out in. Francis is fouled. And that is not out. He wasn't fouled. So the referee is still in the middle of the action, trying to get the up three players battling for it and click very, very near the sideline. And then coming in. And battling Tony Herden, and battling with Tony Herden is John Paul Murphy holding on to the ball. John Paul Murphy floating into the centre, trying to get up there in the centre, battle down, then come to James Hennessy. James will try a long distance shot from this angle, floating into the edge of the square, to his pass coming down the corner, and battling for there's Mike Mullane into the centre, Tommy Quinn a snapshot, coming out to the corner, then Brian Quick watched from the sideline to take his point, looking. The shot half back down, Tommy battling for it again, good shot by Tommy Quinn to the edge of the square, battling for it there and trying to get his Derek Paul, good work by Paul the corner, then will try to shot across the edge of the square and get it there as the man for all season. That man is William Horgan, and William Horgan driving out. Jolie really did very well, and then great work there by Carol Linhan driving into the centre again. Newcastle Western Pro in the overhead flick, Tommy trying for the overhead flick, then across the square and going into Willie Hurley going through. Is that a goal on by Willie? Blocking the defence resolute, and that pulling all angles on this it's going, and the referee right in the spot. Stern talk from the referee, Eamon Phelan. Free for Bruree, Francis Finn to take it.
Keep over, don't be doing that, Joe.
Sorry. Francis Finn to take it out right up to the side of the field. Neil McGowan backing for it, along with James Charles O'Brien. Neil McGowan gets it in. Neil McGowan making angles for himself, trying to hold on for dear life. Then driving into the centre towards Jolie with the ball. Jolie down to centre, Tony Herden, and backing for it there is Danny Dealey. Tony Herden very near the sideline, trying to get up, difficulty and get it up. Then drive it forward, trying to find the corner, trying to find Derek Powden. Willie Hurley batting to William Horgan then, and half battled down by Willie Hurley, coming out this side to Dan O'Connor. Good ball by Dan across the edge of the square. Flicked out, is that another goal coming up? Yes, there is! The goal coming up. Good ball across the square and driven to the net by Liam Crimmin. Semi-final. Two semi-finals. Liam Crimmin kept his eye on the ball and flicked it to the back of the net. It was double scores down to a solitary point. Jolie injured there, getting Or is it a change of shoe? Neil McGowan's applying the shoes, and Jolly, who wears number 9.5, and put it on, got given by Wally Trimmin. Or Wally Keane for offside the field. So Joe resumes his position very, very near the half-time whistle. Referee checking his watch as Francis Finn. Just a solitary point between the teams. Francis drive it right into the centre. Jody Betty for Charlie O'Shea. Charlie trying now. Holly Anthony, but Jody get it in. Jody in the thick of the action. James Charles O'Brien. Still Jody get it up. Jody to the side of the field. To Tony Hatton. Tony Hatton. Put down by Tony Hatton very, very near the sideline. Gone. Still being kept in play and trying to keep it in place. Derek Powell. Derek Harrison behind. Derek Powell came back Hurley last 2 minutes across and tried to find Willie Hurley, but coming into the man in the centre then. And well done there by Mike Mullane. Mike Mullane down to find the count. Back in Dave O'Keefe. Dave O'Keefe for the ball now. Dave O'Keefe will try to find Billy Carey. Ball coming across then towards Carolyn Lynn. Carolyn Lynn trying to get up. Carolyn flicking in the ground down to centre to Brian Quirk. Brian Quirk flicking there, but back down there by Mike Mullane. Mike Mullane evades the tackling into the strong Pat Potter. Pat Potter coming. Potter then flicking across for offside to Danny Deedy Dix up to Dave O'Keefe. Dave O'Keefe trying a long distance shot. Dropping into the square. Is that a goal? Clear. Mike Potter taking in the down. The other Mike Watson. But he still let out. Has taken the steam and Carolyn Lynn is there. Out there by Paul Devine. Coming then to the half out. James Charles O'Brien kicked there looking for the goal, and good work there by Billy Carey, but better work by Damien Carr. Coming all, Bruree looking for the. Will they be satisfied with the point? Coming out to Charles O'Shea, making an end for himself, calling for it is Dave O'Keefe. They will try to fight from this angle, dropping high and dropping over the bar. Very near the half-time whistle, the referee Eamon Phelan from St Patrick's calling for the sliotar. And the half-time and the scoreboard here in beautiful Feoghanagh, 2 goals and 3 points for Newcastle, or for Bruree, 2 goals and a point for Newcastle West in the County Junior B semi-final. Second half on, 2 points between the teams. Bruree 2-3 and trying to get it up there for offside. The battery for it there quickly into the Charles O'Shea trying to get near the score. Damon Kelly from Mike Salmon. Mike Salmon after taking off the hat, a shot half blocked down, trying to get this way to James Hennessy. James Harrison behind him, trying to get it up there is Andrew Sexton. Andrew Sexton flicking into the corner then. Great work into Billy Carey. Billy Carey is a great man to get a goal. Will be satisfied with the point. Will be trying to go for the single. Oh, had to challenge and Billy goes down. I know where.
The other team, and that's Buree's team, and that's
Danny Deedy to take it. Is it a penalty? Just three players and goals. Will Danny be satisfied with the point? The opening score of the second half. Bending, lifting, striking, and sending it high and sending it over the bar. Three points between the team. Mike Salmon looking for offside the field, trying to find Dan O'Connor. Dan O'Connor battling for it there, then batting down to the centre, coming to Tony Hearn, and Carolyn battling for it, and then Tony Hearn battling for dear life, then flicked into the centre, going down to David O'Keefe making angle for himself. Half hook from behind by Catalan. Catalan tries to win this one, getting this one. David O'Keefe retrieves possession. Our possession come out into Kenneth Martell, the strong Martell, then drive it forward, leading by determination into the far-off corner. Then they're trying to back with Derek Powell. Derek Powell then picked up there by the midfielder by Pat Potter in position to Charlie O'Brien making angle for himself. Charlie O'Brien low prone ball edge of the square, trying to find Mike Potter with the ball. Great balls there, a goal coming up to David O'Keefe. Low and David O'Keefe. Bruree in the driving seat at the moment. And batted down there and worked on there by Andrew Sexton, but Brian Kirk getting it. Brian Kirk on 10, 20, 30 metres of the ball. Still Brian Kirk very near the sidelines. Brian Kirk great on the foot by Brian Kirk. Into FT challenge then. And then Brian Kirk trying to find the Tommy Quinn taking then. But coming out there is William Hargan losing the first time, getting the second time, driving the third time. And William very well known with the crowd into the corner and trying to find David O'Keefe. David O'Keefe very announcing this, but David O'Keefe trying to get again, going to the ground and making angle for himself. In the dummy, gone 10, 20 metres. But he looked for another goal. He's just side of the point, then dispossessed and good work there in the corner there. Ball the point to James Hennessy then trying to get it in, and then James Hennessy drive it forward again, very near the sideline. Tommy King clash of the ash, and then Brian Kirk. His run the last time was a great run, then this time Ticky across the edge of the square. So Willie Hurley big up and hit the goal. Patrick Hogan there coming in, James all around the place. Is that a goal coming up there? No, good back then, and Liam Wally coming in, then sticking across him again. We might pocket or my Liam Hargan back into it then, and is that a goal coming up? No, it's Francis Finn. Francis coming out, and Francis Dickey trying to take it to safety and trying to get it there as Patrick Hogan. Is there a foul off the ball? There's a free for Newcastle West. Falling down O'Connor off the ball, and a free for Newcastle West. Is it a penalty? No. Chance for Liam Crimmon to get Newcastle West's opening point in the second half. 6 points between the teams. Is that a sub coming on the Newcastle West team? Seems to be a player limbering up in the far off side. Liam Crimmon drive it high and drive it good and drive it over the bar. Joe Barry wearing number 7 on the Newcastle West team. And Sean Barrett, 2 substitutes introduced. Sean Barrett. Coming up there in the centre then, batting for there, and good work there by the centre by Pat Potter limping a little then, and Pat Potter trying to send up another thing, trying to find Mike Carey gone 10-20 metres with the ball, then Mike Carey losing position, then coming in batting for there, Sean Barrett coming in then to James Charles O'Brien still going through, then making an entry himself, then great work there by Carol, then good work there by batting for it and trying to get into the centre. Good work there, Sean Barrett had his best game for Newcastle West in the final of the football against Kappa below and Fines down to Dan O'Connor. Newcastle West, sense of urgency about that play at the moment. Willie Hurley got it, Brian Quick looking for the overlap, Willie still batting for it, Brian calling for it, and then Willie get it down to Brian try to find for this angle, and then Costage was out over the line and wide. The game delicately poised, 4 points between the 5 points between the teams. Francis Finn, the sun shining in his eyes, looking at the far offside, looking up towards James Charles O'Brien, walking into the centre field between Charlie O'Shea and Jolie, and back to then Jolie getting down, Charlie getting again, clicked across forward again, and good work there by Catalan getting out and batting for dear life, and there's a free to the referee. Catalan switched to the corner back position. Chance for Denny Didi to increase Bruree's lead. Will he be satisfied with the point? No, Rustin behind the goals, telling Denny to float it to the right. Denny bending, lifting, striking. A lot edge of the squares. That'll go coming up over the inline and gone wide. Mike Salmon to drive this one out. Driving this one out. Good drive by Mike Salmon. Trying to find Neil McGowan. Brian Kirk getting it. Brian Kirk playing very good hurling in the second half. Dropping the ball. Then Bruree quick in the game. Oh, trying to get the second half. Then batting for it then. And carefully chance then from 8 and 16. And still Brian Kirk showing great top on the foot. 19-20 metres. Is he going to engineer a goal? Dropping there to the square. Dropping. But he hardly needs Salmon. He's going to go up. And Francis Finn knock it in. Francis Finn shaking off the tackle. And then driving out to this corner. Trying to find Mike Carey holding. Mike Carey driving into the centre then. Trying to find David O'Keefe and Kenneth Martell pulling David O'Keefe, flicking down and trying to go to Mike Potter and Dave McCall going to the ground. Dave McCall flicking up again to Jolie grasping the ball then. Charles O'Brien gone through, dropping into the centre then, but Dave McCall holding his place in the corner back and making himself drive it very near the side and to Charles O'Brien and Jolie Kenneth Martell back in Jolie again and coming back to Charles O'Brien. Dangerous probing ball across the edge of the square. Oh, Mike Salmon, a vital flick. He goes to the ground, but the ball comes into the centre to Pat Potter and Neil McGowan. Neil McGowan switched to the centre of the field. McGowan battling, Pat Potter driving, and then coming to James Hennessy batting for it with Danny Deedy to Andrew Sexton batting for it here, batting with Caroline Hills, the free there for Bruree. Has it Tony had him?
Tripped over him, he and hit him in the leg. He's getting in the card. He's getting a red card.
And listen to the game here in front of us. Is it a red or a yellow? As Danny Deedy prepared to take the free. Danny drive it, looking for that elusive goal, dropping there to the spare. Coming back to the center, Mike Salmon coming for it. Mike Salmon holding on to it and good save by Mike Salmon now, trying to find James Hennessy. James Hennessy batting for it. James Hennessy trying to get up, difficulty getting up in this possessed momentarily. James Hennessy trying to get to the second time. And then Andrew Sexton batting for it. Ball players fall to the ground and it's free for Newcastle West. Thank you. Thanks. James Hennessy trying to get another switch in Newcastle West team. Brian Kirk in the middle of the field. James Hennessy flicky down this front, trying to find Neil McGowan. Neil McGowan then went there to the Pat Potter, Neil McGowan. Pat Potter holding on for dear life. And Pat Potter, good work by Pat Potter, trying to find Danny Deedy and Charles O'Shea to get across to Danny Deedy. It's beautiful stuff. But he finished off at the point, dropping it into the sky. Mike Salmon! Back of the net. Danny Deedy, number 9, floated, was trying to get the point, but the probing dropping ball dropped out from the outstretched reach to Mike Salmon to the back of the net. Again, it's back to double scores. 4-4 for Bruree. That's a total of 16 points. 2-2 for Newcastle West. Newcastle West supports the game behind their team. Neil McGowan get it. Neil McGowan knocked down there by Mike Carey. Then Pat Potter get it. Pat Potter, strong physical figure in the middle of the field. Pat Potter coming forward again. Pass there by Tony Head coming down to Caroline. And Caroline trying to get it up. And then Carol trying to drive it down the sideline. Coming towards Tommy Quinn. Tommy Quinn batting for there. And Tommy flicking it forward again. Towards Neil McGowan. Neil McGowan holding on for dear life. Tommy Quinn batting down the centre feet. Trying to try Willie Hurley. Gone in. Tony Head calling for it. Willie Hurley trying to get up then. Willie making himself. Harrison behind there by the other Willie Hargan. Willie Hargan trying to get near the sideline. The pack in this in the Bruree get it then. Shaking off the tackle. Driving it forward again. Come on, breaking. And driving into the centre. Pat Potter's fouled into the Bruree free. Mike Mullane to drive it to Sterling centre back, trying to find James Charles O'Brien back in for offside the field. Sean Barrett batting for it as well. Coming out into the centre, trying to get up there is David O'Keefe. David O'Keefe for the blue helmet, making an for himself. David O'Keefe will throw the ball down to Billy Lightning Carey. Billy Carey will try a run in cover. Going 10, 20, 30 minutes with the ball. But he was satisfied at the point. Will he cross the ball to the edge square? Dropping. He's going to go coming out. Ticked out there by Jolie. Great had by Damon Cal. Damon Cal down. Pat Potter then trying to get up. Then Pat Potter has by James Hennessy. Andrew Sexton for offside the field. trying to find Denny Deedy and Brian Quirt running. A sprint is on, and Denny into Brian Quirt, and Denny get it and making an angle for himself, toss it over cleverly to Andrew Sexton. Sexton will try to find from the second, but he'll be successful, dropping there to the square. Diarmaid Cattle trying to behave loud. Mike Salmon waiting for the breaking ball. Mike Wait has gone out over the line, gone wide. Mike is told to go down for the drop of water. Oh, that's well. This here? Yeah. Kenneth Martell's niece looking at Kenneth playing a storming game for Newcastle West. Another Newcastle West sub on the field. Trevor Neville and the Newcastle West team, they've used their full quarter of substitutes. Trevor Neville and the Newcastle West team battling down, then coming out to the side of the field and going for it, then trying to get in is Andrew Sexton battling for it, then Pippi trying to come in, battling, then trying to get up, then stalemate for the moment, trying to wait for the breaking balls. Pat Potter using his physical strength, going through, and then Harrison crossed for offside, trying to find John Paul Murphy, the end of the ball, and they do the square between Mike Potter and Diarmaid Cahill winning it. Diarmaid Cahill flickered very near the sideline, and Trevor Neville trying to get up. Trevor then Harrison behind there by Dave O'Keefe, and Trevor Neville turning defence into attack, drive it forward again, trying to find Dan O'Connor going for then, and back in for his Tommy Quinn as well, and coming to the side of the field. Dan O'Connor flick it further field, trying to get it up, and then Joe Barry going for it then, and then coming to fell offside, and then get it out there is Mike Carey. Mike was on into heavy challenge there, good work by Dan O'Connor, then going through there by Liam Quinn, goal pass to Willie Morris. Liam Hurley then Liam Quinn field cross the north of the line gone wide. Tony Hurling carried it, and Liam Hurling, and Liam Quinn flick it over the line wide. Another player down injured. Christy Sexton limping a little. The crowd enjoying every moment of this exciting game. Mike O'Connell yesterday celebrated his anniversary, so many years married. They were requesting Kerry ready for him all day. Ball driven out to the centre, and batting for it there is Jolie holding on to Jolie, dispossessed by James Charles O'Brien. Trevor Neville batting for it on the far side. Trevor Neville trying to get up, difficulty to James Charles batting for it live, and then coming in battle free for Newcastle West. Mike Salmon coming out from the goal mouth. Newcastle West badly in need of a goal. Mike Salmon not hit that well. Try to get forward again and coming to Pat Potter trying to get up, then Pat Potter trying back in there on this side of the field, and still Pat Potter going through forward again and flick it forward back into the John Paul Murphy so down to Kenneth Martell and David O'Keefe. Martell trying to get up, then Harrison behind, Toman getting, then Martell flick it forward to the field, and Mike Potter back in for it. Mike Potter then trying to hold off the tackle, shield off the tackle, and then get it there free for Newcastle West. Brian Quirt there, playing his hat out, playing here, there and everywhere. Kenneth Martell to take it. Good one by Martell, drive it right into the Bruree goal mouth, batting for the waiting balls. Will he hurry trying to get up there? Will he go and throw the Harrison behind foul corner for there? Foul in his forward foray, and it's a chance for Liam Clement, and Liam Clement I'm sure will go for a goal from this angle. Liam Clement. 5 Bruree players in the custodian 6. Drive it low, hard, and back clean goal. Flick down again. Flick forward, shot by Tommy Quinn. Back clean by Liam Clement. Is there a goal? A goal by Liam Clement. A game that is dead has come to life. The 8-point lead has been cut down now to 5. And Newcastle West using that full panel of players. Bruree substitutes tugged out in the far offside of the field. 18 in the far offside. I think he introduces some very shortly. Francis Finn, 5 points between the teams. Drive it up into the centre. James Hennessy back in it there. Now James Hennessy. Hurling there and trying to get up then. Caroline thinking forward then and trying to get out then and get it up there. And Caroline still the thick of the action, battling for dear life. And then Dan O'Connor come in instead of Raphael throwing the ball. Sean Barrett there, along with Pat Potter, ball coming down against shot. Dan O'Connor going through, Dan O'Connor back in, but got hurled by the other Danny Didi trying to find Mike Potter there, as David O'Keefe is fouled as Bruree free. Danny Didi standing, lifting, striking, single high and single over the ball. Two solitary goals between the teams. Mike Salmon tries this side of the field, backing for it. James Hennessy tries to stick it overhead, then going down to the end life. Coming in is a strong Pat Potter, and is free for Newcastle West. Sean Barrett playing his hat out since he came into the team. You swear the black helmet in the football, the white helmet in the hurling. James Hennessy knows that his team badly in need of a goal. Will try to lob this one the edge of the square. Tommy Quinn says to flick it in the overhead to Willie Hurley. Will Willie pluck it from mid-air? James misses it in the ball there. Going down towards Pat Potter. Pat Potter then had difficulty in getting it up the first time. Second time then making anything for himself then. Passing on by 2 players coming to Danny Didi and Jody going after it then. Jody trying to get it then. Danny Didi coming in and foul from behind, and it's a free.
Jeez, Webb, come on, only wants a fair game.
Danny Didi to drive it. James Charles O'Brien. Great work by Danny Didi. Looks to be a mighty point going down over the ball. Huh? 15 minutes, I don't know. How much 15? 9. 8 Howard and the Bruree team for Michael Potter. Michael Potter, who was playing so well up to now, limping a little, gone off injured. And coming down by Mike Salmon right into the centre, backing for there is Pat Potter, then trying to take the action, and backing there is Sean Barrett as well, stalemate in the centre field. James Charles O'Brien, Pat Potter get it forward again, Pat Potter trying to find it, and then Caroline, he get it up, Caroline Harris there, by Billy Carey into the centre then, ball dropping then, flicked on further there by Ed Sexton, down to the far side, and Billy Carey on. Cousin of DJ Carey going instead. Will he finish it after the goal, or will he be having to find? Then drop it, then we'll try to overhead, coming out to the man, flick further to the field then, and then chance, ball drop. They to the square, but coming in is James Hennessy up to the side of the field. The race on between the two gents, Denny Didi and Dan O'Connell. Denny Didi gets it, but Dan O'Connell gets the ball, and Dan O'Connell tries quickly to Joe Barry up high in the air, but the ball coming down to first. Tommy Quinn batting for it long with 8 and 6 up the 10 point Tracy in the game. To Brian Quick's holding on to the ball for dear life, tackles from behind, trying Pat Potter pulled out there again by Trevor Neville, and then Pat Potter get it forward again. Pat Potter down to the corner then. Good work there by Caroline holding on to the ball, glued his stick. This is great stuff here, magical stuff in Fina. Carroll then hook from behind, Con moves out of the way and comes in and flicking over itself. Free from Newcastle West, Tony Herron. Aerodynamic Con goes to safety in Fina as Tony Herron preparing to take this one. 7 points between the team. Newcastle West need a goal. 7 minutes left. Tony drop it high, float in mid-air, from our angle it appears to be gone over the in-line, and Francis trying to keep it in play, but it's gone out for a 65. The boss of his hardly touched the top of the sliotar, and it's gone out for a 65. Joe Lee will drop this one on the edge of the square, floating, dropping, players going for all around the place, battling for it, coming out in to Brian Quirk now trying to make an angle for himself, will try to point from this angle, floating across again, flicked across, so great save by Francis Finn. Francis goes down to the ground, he touches the ground, Newcastle West players protesting, battling for it, players battling everywhere, they're all over the place and they're going, the referee calling Cam. It's a penalty. 7 points between. Huh? 7 minutes left, and Liam Wally Crimin, would he go for the top of the net to Bruree defenders and the custodian trying to get it, and 7 points between the teams will be reduced to 4. A vital penalty. Referee Eamon Phelan making sure all players are behind the ball. Dan O'Connor bending, lifting, striking, driving, low drive, Francis failing, Francis driving it forward again, and Bruree players are happy as Francis is fouled. The captain leads by example. Seven points between the teams. Good work there by Francis Finn. Francis Finn will be the hero of Bruree tonight. Drive it high into the centre. Jolie battling for it along with Pat Potter. Pat Potter and James Hennessy. James Hennessy coming in and trying to back in there. Sean Barrett. Good work there to Dan O'Connor. Dan O'Connor trying to get in. Dan O'Connor trying to take it forward. Jolie pulling it in for dear life. Backing it in for dear life. Stalemate in. Trying to get up with James Hennessy. James Hennessy coming through. Good work by James Hennessy. Tackled there by John Paul Murphy. There the halfback. Picked in there by Aidan Sexton. And then there to Charlie O'Shea. Charlie will try a point from long distance. Will he be successful? He's saying over the ball. Charlie O'Shea, centre forward, wearing number 11.
Come on, Andrew. Come on, keep it in there, Andrew. Come on.
Mike Salmon for offside the field, trying to find Brian Quick pulling for it, battling for it as well as Joe Barry. Into the centre again, James Charles O'Brien here. James Charles gone 10-20 metres of the ball. Have Harrison behind and trying to get it fouled, and it's a free for the Bruree. The Friesian Cohen for offside the field. Looking every more into the game as Denny Deedy drives this to Pat Potter. Pat Potter will try a long distance point, making an angle for himself. Drive it high. Great work there by Jolly and put him off, and it's gone over the in line, gone wide. Switches all around the place. Willie Hurley centre forward. Ken O'Connor half forward. John Hughes on for Billy Carey. Billy who made so many prominent runs, hoping for a great county final. Bruree look at the stage. Mike Salmon trying to find James Hennessy. James Hennessy batting for Pat Potter. James Hennessy holds is a free for Newcastle West. Dan O'Connor drive it high. Toby Day to the square there looking for the elusive goal, battling for the gear line. Bad out there by William Harlan to Mike Carey. Mike Carey shot out. Mike coming second time, trying to dispossess there. Going for there is Joe Barry. Oh, have to challenge there and going down into the centre. Danny Deedy batting for the thing, and battling there is Brian Kirk taking the action. Thursday contested out coming out into Jolly taking the action as well, and players going here there. Andrew Sexton getting up. Andrew holding on for dear life into hefty challenge there. Dan O'Connor go by Dan O'Connor. Dennis fouled this in Newcastle free. Dan will he be satisfied with the point. Drop it dead to the square, looking for the elusive goal. Drop in. Francis Finn, the clearer. Francis going, holding, and then passing the ball to his cornerback, Christopher Sexton. Christopher Sexton for offside the field, trying to find James Charles O'Brien. James Charles and Trevor Neville battling for it, and coming in again is Christopher Sexton. Christopher fouled, it's a free for Bruree. Mike Monahan, centre backs indeed, right through the centre, trying to find the other Mike Potter and Ian McCall battling for ball breaks between James Hennessy goes to the breaking ball, trying to get up Harrison behind him, battling it then going forward, and it's a free for Bruree. Picked off the ball. Dennis Newman said, I know business being a referee, as I gave the wrong decisions. Coming out to James Hennessy. James Hennessy left for Ian McCall. Ian McCall, since about to play, closing 3 minutes of the game. That county injury time. Good ball by Damon Carey, trying to find Willie Hurley. Willie Hurley batted there in the centre. Throw overhead by Willie Hurley. Out to Mike Carey. Mike Carey batting for it there. Down with Tony. Had Mike Carey coming. Late. Turn the foot by Mike Carey. Got 10-20 metres from the ball. Looking behind him. Shot from the Hurley. Drive it forward then. Trying to find the centre. And batting for it there. And batting, trying to get there. It's Sean Barrett down for offside, trying to find Joe Barry batting for it there. Willie Hurley going for it. Willie Hurley dispossessed, mounted by John Paul Murphy. Steal made down the centre, referee possibly. Time is over then. Game is over. 4-7 to 3-2. Exciting county junior B semi-final. The scoreboard: Donegan Zafina written on top of it. 4 goals and 7 points for Bruree, 3 goals and 2 points for Newcastle West, and I'm sure Bruree will prepare meticulously for the county final and will learn an awful lot from their semi-finals. Lots of new rival supporters on their way home after this exciting game.